I would honestly thought at the beginning, we started off a bit slow. We were a bit nervous. We were taking a bit too many touches, a bit heavy, a bit apprehensive. Wasn't making our mind up quick enough. But finally, we found our rhythm. We kind of rode those chances. And guess what? We rode that first half. Second half, we came out with a team looking like we had something to prove, with a bit between our teeth. And then we finally found that quality that gave us the goal. I think after the goal, we had that momentum that I was talking about that United had in the first half.
Yep.
It kind of swung on our way. And I felt like, we turned up. We turned up and we gave our fans finally something to sing about.
Before you get into it.
Go on.
Before you get into it.
Go on.
Let's get into the match reaction first, and then you can...
Yes.
Welcome to We Are Tottenham TV. It's the match reaction. It's finished Tottenham Hotspur 2, Man United 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Pape Sarr with the first goal, and a Martinez own goal for the second. Ash, talk to me about that performance. Let's talk about the first half, right? It was 0-0 at half-time. What was your expectations of that first half? Were you happy with the performance?
I think it was a slugfest, this game in total. I know I'm going to get into that first half, but they started off the bright of the two. They were a little bit more sharper.
Yep.
They had the better of the chances, but they couldn't finish their dinner. And that gave us the opportunity, my G, to get in. And that's where it was a boxing match. We didn't shy away. We kept pushing. We kept pressing. And then it finally happened where we got our chance. We got our chances, and it didn't end up in the back of the net, but we showed that we had something. We were there. We were part of the party. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We weren't going to just sit down and be the old school Tottenham. Spursy, if you like to say. That word is going to disappear. I have got a feeling. But anyway, that first half, I think it was...
Good luck with that.
Bruno Fernandes. Listen, I'll be delusional as much as I want. I can clap. Happy days. I'll be a clapper. Stevie Wonder. But for me, I just thought we were just a bit hesitant in our decision making, and I think that's why we wasn't clinical when we were in that final third, and I think that's what let us down. Bruno was dictating, and Unana, when he was spraying those balls, those long diagonals, those balls over the head, that's what was catching us out. And I felt like even Anthony at times, he was getting the better of us. Rashford was drifting into space, beating that offside trap, giving Mickey van der Ven questions to ask. I felt Mickey van der Ven stood up quite well against him. He didn't panic. At first, he had a few heavy touches. He passed it out. It wasn't quite getting to him. Even Romero did a heavy pass to Mickey van der Ven. And it takes time for that partnership to flourish. And I thought as the game went on, that's what we saw between the two of them. And for me, I think Son was a bit shy. Kulu wasn't sharp. Rich was non-existent. Maddison couldn't really get on the ball, so he started dropping a bit deeper. And it just wasn't gelling for whatever reason. And United had our number for a while, I saw in the chats, United fans were talking a bit of smack.
They were. They suddenly disappeared when that first goal went in. But I just got a quick super chat, and then I'll let you carry on. It says, from Rambro, much better second half. COYS, great victory. Fans were great as well today. They were good today, actually. And I thought they were better in the second half than they were in the first. I think it was a bit, and as you were saying.
Marlon, how ironic in the second half that, they go to the south stand, right, and we start turning up. And what are we? A view from the where?
South stand.
Oh my days. I couldn't say it better myself. And when we got that goal, it's just that goal we needed just to lift the boys and just to show them like we're paying dividends. It's going to give us that energy, that help, that momentum, that belief that we need to go into that game to kind of finish it off. Yeah. And I think we wanted it just as much as United, but we got quality. And I think it just showed in that second half.
No, I totally agree. I couldn't. There's not many negatives about that performance, which is the best thing ever. Like even if we looked at Brentford last week, we were all trying to get used to what was going on, and Brentford just exploited one little bit in the first half, which Man United couldn't do today. It was very, very. They tried to because Garnacho was out on that left, and they kept trying to play it out to over Porro's head, and they just weren't clinical enough in that first half. And
about Porro.
And then I think as the game wore on, we just wasn't sharp enough on the ball. I think in the midfield we had it on, like we were playing well, but Casemiro was just getting the better of Maddison, I thought, a little bit, and that was probably what was hurting us a little bit. But as soon as we stepped it up, it was kind of game over.
Like for me,
And for me, just quickly, I don't think Man United actually played poorly.
No, they didn't.
I think a lot of Man United fans will sit there and go today, oh my God, this, and this. I think in the second half, Spurs exploited what Man United were trying to do to us in the first half.
Yes.
Where
chess match.
Yeah, we exploited their weakness instead.
Correct.
And that's what we did.
Facts.
And they tried to do it to us. So I think that's where, and we was more successful with it. Where Sarr got in the end of it, but it was a poor ball. Like for me, like I said, it was a poor ball from Kulu, but Martinez is just in the wrong position, and he takes a swipe, and it just falls perfectly to Sarr. But it was all good. Like I can't sit there. Udogie was brilliant again today. I was worried about him today, but actually he showed.
Listen, Udogie in possession, the way he dribbled and was able to come in field in the middle of the park and just goes past players with ease. Yep. He had the strength, the pace, the physicality, the explosiveness just to beat his player each time. And so much so, the referee had to help United out and give them a couple of free kicks because they felt sorry for United. And I feel like that inside kind of position where the centre-backs are playing, the full-backs are playing. You even see Porro, he kind of adapted to that position. And I wasn't sure. I had my critics. I had my question marks about Porro playing that inverted role, but I felt he dealt quite well with the threat down those flanks. He was able to come out when we had the ball, when we didn't have the ball. He was able to deal with the threat with Garnacho. Garnacho had to get substituted off by the end of it. Yeah. And I think he actually had a good game. And I think now Porro's had such a good performance that
if you look at the two games, you're going to sit there and go, actually, Porro's had the better game out of the two.
1,000%.
But the problem is you are going to get with Porro. He cannot defend. It depends on which games you're going to need. Royale, I think they're going to change a lot, those two.
They are.
And I think, actually, Andrew's got it right in both games.
He has.
And where I said earlier, I probably would have done it the other way around, but I think he has got it right when you look at it, because
man of the match.
Because if you put Rico Henry up against Porro, as we did last week, I think he gets more change out of what happens, and I think they just keep hitting. But where they put Garnacho, it was really weird that they put Garnacho out there instead of Sancho. For me, that was probably the weirdest thing. But Porro dealt with everything defensively sound, apart from Sancho at the end there. Right? But he done brilliant. And going forward, he gives us more of a threat. And it does, I think it then highlights how Kulu has to do more, because now he had the help there.
They link well.
They did link well together.
They link well.
Kulu's got just a little bit more for me.
You know what? It's the partnerships that I like. I like the Kulu and Porro combo. Yeah. And I also like the Son and the Udogie Porro. And I just feel like going into if I'm going to criticize Son, when Perisic came on and Son had his chance to play up front, because this was the big debate amongst the Spurs community. Son up top, Richarlison, no, right? Perisic came on and Perisic was out on the left. And guess what? Guess who we saw on the left?
Yeah, and he shouldn't have been.
We saw Sonny. And I think that's a howler. I think that's a big flag for me. Sonny, you've got to be in that hole playing centre forward. Even if you start on the left and you want to do an overload, because I'm for it. I don't mind the triangle thing when you got 3 against 2, because I get it. Tactically, that works. You outnumber, you overload one side, and that's how you get joy. You know what I mean? You beat the team's press, wherever. But my thing is, if you're going to be left, certain times you need to drift into the centre. And he kept coming offside as well. He kept doing the Richie thing where he was fine. Like, because Maddison had the ball, Maggie. He had the ball. Maddison wanted to play it in. And he was like, my brother, what are you doing? I'm trying to let it go, but Sonny ain't reading it. He needs to have a yard off and then curve his run and then make that.
But to be fair to Son today, this is where I kind of disagree with you. He's passing and everything he did off the left today, and he done things a lot better than he was last week. There was the pass that he laid into, I can't remember who it was in the first half. When they're playing it behind to Udogie and stuff like that, he has that chance where he gets in the middle and he probably should have taken a shot a lot earlier. I felt like he was more of a threat today than he has been. And at the front three, he was the better one out of the 3.
Listen, this is where the Southview COYS clash. Because listen, for me, the link play from Son was perfect. Link play, fine. I've got no problem with Son with the link play. Link play, interchange as well.
Yeah. But are we putting him up here when actually we need to come? Look, he had a one great
meet
season.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, we need to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I'm for it. Look. I'm not saying Son had a poor game. No way am I. Look, I'm a big Son fan, by the way. I'm a massive Son fan. But we know what he can produce when he's on the edge of the box. Yep. We know what he can produce when he's on that kind of that shoulder of the defender. When he's in between the fullback and the centre back, he's got bags of pace. I even said it today. in the watch along. I said, look, people are writing him off saying he's got no pace. Look what he just did in that first half. He had that pace against Varane. He done him. Do you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't. So like, for me, I wasn't disappointed with his performance today. I think I was more disappointed with Kulu and Richie than I was. Son.
Listen. Let me make this clear. I am not disappointed with Son's performance. Let me just put it out there. Because man will come for man.
Of course, I'm coming for you.
Man will send for man. Yeah. But listen, this is not the hill to die on today. That's what I'm saying. Don't die on this sword, my G. Yeah. What I'm telling man is, I just want to see more with Son being the number 9 because we were screaming for that as fans.
Was he tired? Was he tired in that second half though? Because he'd been doing a lot on the left, and maybe that's what. Because look, we've seen him play in the middle before, and that's for me. That wasn't a Son middle when he plays in the middle performance. So maybe if he starts up top, I don't know who starts on the left.
Does Son hold up the ball?
No, he's not going to. He's not going to. He's not
because I thought at times in the first half we needed a player to hold up the play. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. At certain times, in certain phases of the play, you kind of need.
Yeah, but we don't.
I don't think Son's that guy to play the 9. I know. This is what I'm saying to you. But this is what I'm saying to you. So as much as people are screaming, Richarlison's dead, because I was saying it.
But none of the strikers we've been linked with either. Like, let's be honest, play that way either.
At times, Rich did hold up in the second half.
Richie's probably the best one out of a lot to do it. But what he does, he holds it up, but it's his second and third touch that lets it out.
Second and third, the passing sometimes, and it's stay on your feet. Not every day on the floor. Not every game on the floor, my brother.
Yeah, the only negative.
Stay up.
Let's out of a massive positive today. I think the only negative will probably be, and a lot of people will still be looking at the front three going.
Listen, if we had United's front three.
And let's take Solomon. He came on.
Yeah, he looked sharp. He looked bright.
He looked sharp and he looked all right.
He looked bright.
Perisic comes on. We looked all right. The problem's going to be, and I don't know if we're going to fix it this window. Depends on who goes out. We need someone in the middle. We need someone who's going to complement Solomon, Kulu, all of them. Maybe Ange might have to switch.
You want more of a target man, and I want more of a hit man.
I want more of a target man. I think that's where we got split Kane. We got split Kane into 2, right? Because he does both jobs. Which one do we get?
You say bring 2 strikers in?
We got one.
Too much?
To be fair, I think the least
and so Richie.
I think the least does the job as a hold up. He probably could do that. He's good in the air and things.
But he said they're not ready. He's not ready. We need someone now. We need someone now.
Richarlison's good in the air too, apparently. But his movement off the ball and
I mean, the 2 goals he scored were headers, weren't they? Yeah. Champions League, they were headers.
Even the one against Liverpool,
headers. So you got to say that's his attribute, isn't it? But for me, it'd be great if you could get one with all 3. But for me, the reason why I want someone that's real quick is because that means you can play him through the middle, you can play him on the left, you can play him on the right. And certain times you saw it, Kulu, just that little half yard, that little 10% more. I thought, bruv, there was one time the ball rolled across him and he just stopped running. I'm like, brother, what are you doing? There was one time it was coming to the byline and he kind of just slowed down. What are you doing? I want a man that, like you said, like a Tevez, that tenacity, that just never gives up, keeps on running, has that energy, gives 100%.
Yeah.
And those little moments, that can win you games because he keeps the ball on. All of a sudden, we keep possession. Then all of a sudden, something comes out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And those little moments where you just give it up and then it's their throw, then they got possession and then they win out of it. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much because obviously there was a few substitutions.
Yeah. So let's talk about the massive positive today, right?
Yeah.
Actually, the biggest positive.
Yes, let's do
we spoke about the midfield, we spoke about the forward, but we haven't spoke about the 3.
No,
Vicario, Van de Ven, and Romero.
Yes. Good performance for me.
I think there was a couple of times in the first half
teething. This is a new word now, guys. Teething.
There was a couple of teething problems.
A few hiccups,
But the 3 of them, and Vicario included,
they grew into the game.
As soon as they got into that game, Man United couldn't get past them. They weren't creating anything. They were solid. And it's weird to see because of the last 2-3 years, our defense has been awful.
No, it is awful. But you know what's more important? What I saw.
Yeah.
I see Mickey. I'm going to correct myself. Yep. Mickey, because he needs more games to earn that VDV, that title. His recovery pace. He might get beat the first time, but the second time he's making up for it, which I liked a lot.
Because it was the one where he got done by Rashford.
Yes.
But the thing is,
he put it through his legs.
Yeah. By the time you've gone, like that.
He's already got it back.
And that's the recovery.
Thanks, bro.
That's the recovery about VDV that I'm liking.
Listen, I don't mind getting done.
And this is where, when Tim Sherwood comes out and goes, whatever he said, I just look at Tim Sherwood and go, I know you brought Jack Grealish, right, and you're dying on that hill, but you have made some howlers about players.
He saw a couple games with VDV and he thought, oh, VDV can't turn.
He saw one game.
Mickey can't turn. Mickey can't turn. So he put that on him. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he thought.
But it's the best thing he said because
he would have heard that. Yeah. Mickey would have heard that.
And would have been like, and then people would have been saying, "No, this is what he said about Vertonghen, Spurs' best defender for the last 4 or 5 years." Yeah. So, look, VDV, I was sold after Brentford last week, but I'm sold today. Vicario, I'm still got my hesitations. It's going to be the away games where I'm going to be like, okay, see what you can give us. But his performance today, brilliant.
Yeah.
Even the ones that were offside, he made saves. He still made them. He didn't make me feel nervous, not once. Yeah, which is what happened last week. He did make me feel nervous, but maybe that's where Porro's come in, and maybe maybe this is the 4 because Destiny. Oh my God,
again, he's my destiny.
Yeah, him and VDV have got a partnership already. But do you know what? This is what happens.
Destiny.
When you've got people that can defend.
you know what?
And you ain't got Dyers at the back.
I'm not gonna have a go at the fans. I'm not gonna have a go. But for me,
he's gonna have a go.
For me, it's extremism. I know we do it on YouTube. It's extremism. Yeah. The words people use, the language, you have to be careful. Like words like, the front three are diabolical. The front three are awful. Brother, allow it, man. Allow it. Like, all right, you might not like 1 or 2 players. You might not like Kulu. Some might not be the guy for you for whatever reason. You might think Richie's dead. All right, cool. That's your opinion. But like, just calm down, innit? Yeah, stay calm. That's all I'm saying. Stay calm.
Benny and Sim are not like that.
Stay calm. Stay calm. No, of course not. Yeah. That's why we're on their channel, innit? They give it quite balanced, I feel. But I just feel like the back 3, yes, good. Midfield, yes, good. Front 3 could be a little bit more clinical. Because I think when the front 3 are clinical, then we'll start ghosting. You start seeing a different type of Spurs. We'll start punishing teams. Maddison, when he's on that chance, remember that chance you said, he should have passed instead of shot. He will start making the right decisions. He's going to shoot, but then guess what? One of our front 3 players is there. They pick up the pieces and they score a goal.
But a quick elephant. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Go on.
Do you think a performance like this today, where they did pick it up in the second half, do you think if we had Kane up top, we perform the same way? Or do you think Kane will produce something different if we had him?
It's hard to say because I've seen Kane being quiet in games.
Yeah,
I've seen.
And he's usually quiet. He's quite quiet against Man United. Usually,
I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him quiet in games, not affect games. But then I've seen him take games by the scruff of the neck. I think in that position, I think all right. If I'm not going to sit on the fence, Kane does better. Where Richarlison drops in that hole, Kane all day. Do you know what I'm saying? He looks after the ball. He protects it. He probably finds Son a little bit earlier. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there was a few things in the first half where I thought if that was Kane, maybe he'd do this. And like, obviously, we're gonna look. We have to until we can get someone who's gonna score. Kane, we're gonna speak about Kane probably the whole season, right? And I don't want to, but
I'm not gonna talk about Kane. Other people will. I'm trying to move forward. You know, like the ex that left you and she was kind of a badders, isn't it? Allow it, innit? She's done. Leave it there, innit? Like, there's other badders around. Don't just be on this.
It's a good one, though, because the ex has found a good husband, right? But you've also found a good wife as well. So you both moved on in the right direction.
Let's move on. Like, me, I'm about Tottenham Hotspur FC. It's on my chest. It's on my heart. I want to talk about them. Like, going back to Kane now, we're moving back. Like, what we did.
I know, but the thing is, I look at it, the front three. Apart from Son, I'm still looking at the front 3 and we're still asking questions.
I'm saying we need to recruit. Yeah, I'm not talking about Kane. I'm just saying we need to recruit. That's all.
Can we?
I think because Kane has gone out, that one position we can recruit in, I feel. That is the one position where I think we can bring someone in. Everywhere else, I get it. Midfielder for midfielder, defender for defender, I get it. One needs to go out before it. But Kane is a massive hole. So we can bring in that position. And I don't want to leave it too late where we get... I think what they're trying to do is be smart last day. Then like the whatever club's selling, they've got no room to maneuver. But at the same time, that could backfire because they can't replace.
Yeah, but that's typical. So, that again is typical Levy.
And I don't want to talk about politics either because the L will come out as well.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I think if I think that's an old school mentality, like, and that's what Levy dies on, doing that last minute deals. But I think football's moved on since then. I think we've got.
That's why I was at protest. I didn't go today, by the way. But
if we need a striker,
I wasn't here.
If there's a striker out there that, and just told you, right? The rest of the positions, I think we kind of get. I think we still need I don't know if at the moment, I don't know if we need a reboot. Basuma replacement's more important or a striker.
Both.
But I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to say to the club, look.
Listen.
This man is give him the tools, right? And maybe he can do something for this club.
What I saw with Højbjerg, sorry to cut you as well. My brother, what I saw with Højbjerg is the moments he's able to do progressive stuff.
Yep.
But then he switches back and then he either passes it backwards or he just does something like, Højbjerg, what are you doing? Like, you've done the right things. Just be assertive. Say it with your chest. Do it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Even that time when I'm like, arrive in the box. I know you said Son should be there. But for me, just get in that final third because he can score. He can actually shoot.
Yeah, because to be fair, Scott, Sarr and Skip are getting into the box and underhand. And even Skip is, yeah.
For me, that's what I'm saying. If Basuma goes out and then Højbjerg replaces him, is he going to be progressive? You know what Basuma does? There's 2 men on him and then he does a half turn, beats 2 men, is able to carry the ball up the field, dribble the... Like, Højbjerg's going to want to check in. That's my biggest thing with Højbjerg. That's why I've been so harsh on him. So I still feel like if Højbjerg's rumoured to go out, I don't know if it will get over the line, but I just want... If we're going to get a Basuma replacement, give me someone that's got legs, that got a little bit of technicality about him, that can defend as well. Not just a dead 6 that just stands there, positionally is great, and you know what I mean? But he hasn't got, you know, the utilities, the utensils, the characteristics that we're going to... Because then we'll miss it. Because then how are we going to progress the pitch? Because Maddison's going to have to keep dropping. Do you know what I mean? But at least with Basuma, he helps us carry up the pitch. I don't want to talk about him no more because I'm talking about him enough. But yeah, that's my piece.
But no. So it's finished Tottenham 2, Man United 0. Please join us for the post-match fan show.
Fan show, post-match. If you've got views, guys, like I always say it with your chest. Say it with your blood clot chest, yeah? Come on the show, express yourself. There's no opinions that are wrong. Just say what you like. Just say how you feel. It's been positive. In Ange we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, tune in and make sure you subscribe to View from the South Stand TV.
Southview COYS.
And you can find us on there as well.
Southview COYS.
Thank you everyone today who's been here for the watch along.
Big up to the man in the chat.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. It's been actually it's
man them girl them.
Absolutely great to see all the positivity in the chat.
For once, right?
I've been doing this for a whole season and obviously I only saw Conte chat. So obviously we had the negative stuff. But no, it's been positive. Big Ange we trust. Please make sure you like and subscribe to We Are Tottenham TV and make sure that you show some love to Ben and Sim.
Yes, add the memberships today.
But as we say, please like and subscribe and come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.